Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Hillbillies Like Reviews. Reviews on Today Whiskey. I'm your co-host, Bourbon Bobby, and the host, the man, the big one, the main man, Johnny Lasasso.
Yes, but are you starting to get tipsy-turvy?
This might be our second or third video in the series.
For God's sakes, what are we drinking here?
Tonight we are drinking a little Michter's American whiskey.
All right, well, why don't you
come in the picture so
Yes.
the world can see
Hey, no,
your
like,
loveliness?
Now.
It's like Santa Claus's grandson.
Sure.
Yeah, okay.
Now, Michter's makes bourbon and rye. What is this?
American whiskey.
Talk to me.
What makes this American whiskey is they use their same mash bill as the
bourbon.
rye.
As the rye.
I'm sorry. You're right. As their bourbon, not their rye. They seem to use the same mash bill as their bourbon. Well, why is it not bourbon, you say?
I do say that.
They put it in one of their previously used bourbon barrels.
So,
Which means it's not going into a virgin white oak barrel. By law, they
Charred.
can't call it bourbon, so they call it their American
because it has to
whiskey.
be a new, never used before, charred
Oak barrel.
white oak.
So after 6 years, they have a barrel they paid $125 for. They can either ship it away to a rum company or
I
something.
think those barrels cost. They're expensive.
Yeah, I don't even know. Used, they're like 95. I got no idea. They're well.
Anyway, the point is,
They figured out a way to reuse the barrel, and instead of selling their bourbon for $55 a bottle, they sell their American whiskey for $46 a bottle.
which is the exact same thing, but instead of being new, right, it's put in that's already been used. So then I'm expecting it will draw out some of that. I think there's I can't remember if it was 5 or 25 gallons that actually gets soaked into the wood.
Oh, it's roughly 5% a year. It'd be about 5 gallons.
5 gallons. But here's the thing. So
But after 18 years, you're losing 5% a year. Times 18, you're losing 60%. So when you started with 55, you fill a 60% of 55, you got 25 gallons in that barrel.
that's okay.
That's why the more
Well, what I'm
aged it is, the more expense goes up.
saying is,
Yes.
now, I've had many beverages made and used, Now this is the same, bourbon barrels. And this is the same mash bill. It's the same thing. It's just not new. So what's going to be the difference between one that's used, and some of that bourbon's going to come out and flavor it, but it's already there. It shouldn't be as dark, but yet it is, it seems like.
Well, and I would think it would be because it's going, maybe not. Yeah, you're right, because
But let
the
me ask you
char's
this.
been used.
Bourbon you cannot color.
No.
Can you color whiskey?
Absolutely do not know the answer to that, but in reading the history of this, when we looked into it, the only apparent difference was that they said it was used in previously used barrels.
But let me just say, a freshly charred barrel is where you get the color.
Yes.
That is dark. This barrel has already imparted most of its color into whatever's in there the first time, which is their Michter's bourbon. I'm just saying. So in other words, it shouldn't be as oaky. It shouldn't be as toast. It's used. It's a used
It
barrel.
shouldn't be unless they do it 6 years instead of 4.
I know, but it's still not new, and we'll see. Go ahead.
Well, and you bring up a good point. They don't have to tell you. It could be colored, but
Could
we'll
be
see.
anything. Doesn't go into bourbon rules anymore.
No, it's just under American whiskey rules.
Yeah, and that's not
which
good.
the rules are kind of open on that.
Yeah.
So we'll take us a little pour. The color does appear pretty good.
It appears too good to me. But I might be wrong. I don't know. Could absolutely be wrong.
No.
Seems
And
awful
you
dark,
that's a valid point I didn't think
Yeah.
about.
What are you getting? Oh.
Getting a nice, clean, crisp.
Do we know the mash bill? We don't know the mash bill.
I believe it's the same as the bourbon.
Yeah, I know. But I wonder.
Yeah, I do not know. I'm guessing it's a rye. It's a corn rye. I'm guessing 60, 65.
No, you don't think 70s?
Most of them are, it could be, most of them are in the high 60s, maybe 70, maybe 70. Yeah, obviously it's got to be under 80. But I'm thinking this is high corn, high rye. I'm getting a, we did the bourbon review. I know Michter's bourbons I really tend to like them, but if you've watched any of our 60 videos, you know I like the rye finish over the wheat finish because I like the bite that the rye, and as Johnny points out all the time, it's your rye bread, wheat bread. Wheat bread's a little sweeter, a little milder.
Right.
Rye bread's got a little bit of a bite to it.
And cornbread's sweet. Now, I'm getting cherry or cherry cola right off the bat.
Yeah, so you're getting a little Dr. Pepper there. Oh,
Yeah,
little Dr. Pepper.
Pepper.
Cherry cola.
Absolutely, I'm getting the wood. Even though it's
I'm getting a woody
You-
cherry cordial. I'm getting that with you.
that's pretty much cherry cola, Dr. Pepper, if you will. I get the wood, which is surprising a little bit. I get this brown sugar. I get the sugary stuff.
Yes, absolutely perfect.
I'm trying to think if I get
And you said that it's brown sugar.
corn. Yeah. So, okay. Smells good, actually. It's got a very pleasant smell. Let's try this. All right.
I get excellent brown sugar on the front. Caramel wood on the back end. Kind of smooth going down. Sweet going in.
There's no mid-palate on this. In other words, I get all the nice, strong flavors at first. Then midway, it kind of disappears. Like it does. When I swallow it, I'm like, well, hell, it's gone that quick. And then it does come back for the finish. But there's like, there it is. Ooh, swallow it. That's it. And then here it comes. But normally it'll follow you all the way down. I don't know if that's making any sense.
No,
It's like there's a gap.
I'm almost agreeing with you. You get, because it's a real strong, tasty start.
And then it like disappears, and you're like, really? And then here it comes. It's kind of odd how that does that. Let me see if it does it right now.
Yeah, it definitely does it. Yeah.
Cool.
But as it comes back, it's pleasant again.
It's pleasant at first,
It's pleasant at first. It does. And
but then you
bring that up. Oh, it's gone. Well, now it's back again.
Right.
Because as you're sitting here talking about it, well, it was good. Okay, it's gone. Well, now.
Well, it's like I'm tasting it, it disappears. I'm like, damn, it's like
And then
I
we're
didn't
talking
get
about-
everything I was supposed to
We're
get.
talking about disappearing, then it's coming back.
Yeah, and then it comes
and
back.
you're
I'm
picking
like,
it up.
all right.
I absolutely
But
get
I
that.
felt like Jip, like where did it go? I wasn't done, and it disappeared completely, and then it does come back. So it's very mild. It's tasty, but it seems somehow I describe as mild. I don't know. I guess it's almost tastes. It's what's the proof on it?
I think this was around
93?
80. No, this was, remember, this was 84. I got to pass it to Johnny. My sight isn't what it used to be.
Okay. 83.4. So
Pretty close to 84.
yeah, close, yeah.
So it's definitely 10% under the 90. Yeah, it's
It
just,
seems less than that. I know how much less it has to be, but it's whiskey.
no, yeah.
It just seems light. It seems
What?
like we added water to it when we didn't.
And
It's good. There's nothing off-putting about this.
no, here's
But it's a mild whiskey.
Here's-
it's
here's
smooth,
what
maybe.
here's what this is my summer. If you watched our videos, you know I like high proof, high bite bourbons. But when you get in June, July, August, and it's 100 degrees out, and you've come home from working all day,
Yeah.
it's hard. And I drink bourbons neat, whiskey's neat. I do not put ice in it. I drink it the way that it's hard to sit down to 120 proof bourbon when it's 100 degrees out.
Yeah.
So I tend to go to
That's actually not
this
bad.
in the summer because it's
And I
lower
think
proof.
That's pretty cool that you do that.
It's lower proof and a little milder, but it's still
mild.
a pleasant
Yeah.
taste.
Yeah, that's a great way. And I know one guy that I watch, Quig, Food Quig. He'll a lot of times he's from Canada. He does some great whiskey reviews, by the way. He'll on a hot day, he walks I think home from work a little bit, and he'll always start sometimes with a gin or gin and tonic. You know, kind of like what you use this for.
Yeah, it's funny because I'll start down there with a gimlet.
Okay.
Yes.
If
And
he
then
gets hot
finish
or
with
if he
this.
walks up the steps
Yes.
and he's hot, he's getting a gin and tonic.
Right, because you cannot, as much as you love bourbon, if it's been 100, and I work
Yeah,
outside,
bourbon's
I
a-
spend a lot of time outside, you cannot walk into a, I don't care how good the bourbon is, at 120 proof and drink it straight, because you
Right.
need something.
That'll make you sweat.
So, I do that, but if I'm just going to go straight up, this is my go-to whiskey, because it's milder, it's
Actually, it's very
lighter.
good for that, folks.
Yeah.
This is a good starter, and then you start getting the power.
Exactly.
Because and don't get me wrong, I'm not talking about there's no flavor in it. Very flavorful. Just somehow it seems lighter. It seems like a good. You described it perfect. And it almost seems like I took one of our bourbons that we usually drink and threw a little water in it.
Yes. Or throw an ice cube in
Yeah,
there.
threw an
Let it
ice
sit
cube
in
in.
there a minute.
Yeah. And so, yeah, for what you do for it, that's perfect.
But I do love what you said. It does this, and I hadn't noticed it. We said it's great start, kind of disappears in the middle, and really good finish. But it does disappear in the middle.
Yeah, that's odd, isn't it?
It is a little odd.
Very odd.
So, ladies and gentlemen, this would be Michter's American Whiskey. This would be Hillbilly Select Reviews. And Johnny reviews just any kind of adult beverage you can imagine.
That's true.
So, what we ask is please, and I personally ask, go back, review my bourbon collection. You'll see a lot of these in it. Then go back and review our whiskey and bourbon picks. And we do it for you. We bring these in. We're in a pretty ideal location to get pretty good bourbons and pretty good
We
whiskeys.
both work in the industry.
And we're in and I think I pioneered
You did.
the Napa Valley of bourbon.
You won't find it your statement on that's the first. Anyway, I'll tell him this. If you see me in a video without him, and you see any of these like horse type pictures, that means I was in his house when he wasn't here. Because sometimes I stay here for work because I live far away, and if I have to do something early or something, I'll stay here. Or if he drinks too much, maybe I drink too much. Anyway, and he'll go to work, and maybe I can come home for lunch or something like that. If he leaves something laying around that I think I need to review, I'll do it. And then he'll find it on there, and he'll be all mad and everything because I found something in his refrigerator, in his cabinet. And so if I'm doing a review with one of these pictures behind me, and he's not in it, that means I snuck one of his beverages as usual.
Okay.
I tear everything up that he has.
And ladies and gentlemen, okay, this is what I'm saying. If you find me in a review and I'm with a lovely Asian looking woman, oh, never mind. From Hillbilly Select Reviews.
See, this fell apart, folks. See,
No, it just, yeah, no one got that but you. From Hillbilly Select Reviews, tune in next week.
yes.
All right.
And I want to say
Thank you for
something.
watching.
All right, so, all right, everybody. Thanks for watching, and we will see you on the next one. And don't forget, the best thing about these bourbons and whiskeys is they make a damn nice cologne.